Now the birth details of the chart are 3 to 85, 1:30 p.m. Jamshedpur, Jharkhand state. Chart details, the time of birth, place of birth and the date of birth is step 1, and step 2 is now we will see the planets filled rasis and also the empty rasis. First house Saturn, second house vacant, third house Jupiter, Sun, Mercury, fourth house vacant, fifth house Venus and Mars, sixth house Rahu, seventh house vacant, eighth house Moon, ninth house, 10th house, 11th house vacant, and 12th house has Ketu. This is the structure of the chart. Here first step is the chart has 1, 5, 9 as Mars, 5th lord is Jupiter and 9th lord is Moon. So Mars, Jupiter and Moon are the best planets of the chart because they are 1, 5, 9 lords. They give the person intense luck and creativity. 5 is creativity, 9 is luck according to Vedic. 9 from 5th bhava we have the Purva Punya. The person gets his Purva Punya from the 5th house, and the 9th house is the luck, Bhagya Sthana, Bhagya, luck Sthana. 3, 6, 9, 12. These are the houses. 1, 4. You can also see like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But these are the houses. These are called the Kendras, the quads or the angles. And 2, 5, 8, 11 is the Phanifaras. They are called Phanifaras, and 3, 6, 9, 12 are called the Apoklimas. I'll again explain. 1, 4, 7, 10 will give you visibility in your life, which goes on to say that you are visible to everybody. The house that you stay is visible to everybody. The spouse that you have is also visible to everybody, and the job that you hold gives name, fame and status to the person, and that is also visible to everybody. These are the visibility areas, 1, 4, 7, 10, and they help the person to do some hard work with respect to these areas. And also not only that, 1, 4, 7, 10 also give you results after certain hardships, after certain hard work. 1, 5, 9 are Vishnu sthanas, and these are Lakshmi sthanas. 1, 5, 9 are Lakshmi sthanas. They are smooth and soft and easy for a person. If planets are in 1, 5, 9, the person finds life easy. But 1, 4, 7, 10 are Vishnu sthanas, which are result givers after hard work. Now we shall see the steps one by one. It is once I told 1, 4, 7, 10. Now we shall observe the planets in the first house, 4th house, 7th house and the 10th house. Now first house has Saturn, 4th house has no planets, 7 has no planets and 10 has no planets. So 1, 4, 7, 10, there is only one natural malefic in the first house of Lagna. So the person is very hardworking, disciplined, and also there is delay in many aspects of the person's life with respect to the first bhava, the person herself. Now comes the 2, 5, 8, 11. This is called Phanifara sthanas. Phanifara sthanas. Second house is the house of resources. It is a very good house. This is the garden of flowers. So the person has lot of resources, the income, the family and the support system for the person. Second house is the food that we eat. So second house is very important house, and its twin is the fifth house. The fifth house is also the one of creativity, hobbies and also interests, and also Purva Punya, as I already told. The kids house is fifth house. Purva Punya, and also love, the love life of the person is expressed in the fifth house. And also the intelligence, the creative intelligence of the person is expressed in the fifth house. Here we should also see that 2 and 8 are opposite houses, and 5 and 11 are also opposite houses. Second house and the 8th house, and 5th house and the 11th house, they form axis, 2-8 axis and 5-11 axis. And there should be obviously a good balance of the 2-8 and the 5-11 axis, so that there is no tilt in the person's life towards one end. It should be a beautiful balance. And 2-5 are, again, as I said, they are twins, and 8-11 are also twins. And how I will explain, they go together, that is what to say. These give relaxation and also support system to the person. The food we eat sustains us, and the children are sustained by us. So these are the sustenance bhavas. And second house is also the house of stability, that gives financial stability, and also the values, the family values the person inherits in life come from the second house. Here second house is vacant, and the fifth house has Venus and Mars, 8th house has Moon, and 11th house is again vacant. So 2-8, the tilt is towards the 8th house, and Venus, 5th and 11th, Venus and Mars are loaded, and therefore the tilt is in the 5th house, the 11th being vacant. Here तराजू इस तरफ जाता है. Venus and Mars both are husband and wife in the chart, and both are on one word. You can also see that Mars is the first lord and Venus is the seventh lord. So there is agreement between these two persons throughout life. This is the promise of the chart. And this kind of 2-8 balance will give financial stability, emotional stability, support from the family, and this manifests as smooth family life. Smooth family life when there is a balance in 2-8. And also 2 is the person's money, and 8 is the husband, spouse money, the money from spouse. And this 2 is the person's own income. Balance, actually the income, the balance after expenses is the second house, the bank balance. So as we can see that 2 and 5, these two are the family which is full of people, and 5 is also the kids zone, hence these are Jiva Karakas. And 8 and 11, these are income, as I said already, this is the income house, income and gains house. And 8 is the anchor of life, the anchor of the ship of life. Okay, this is the 8th house, and 8th house is also the house of transformation and depth in life. So 8 and 11 also needs to be balanced in a person's life, otherwise there will be disturbances, collapses, struggles and disappointments if there is imbalance in 2-8 axis and 5-11 axis. As I said, 2 and 5 give the Jiva Karakas, the living significations of life, whereas 8 and 11 are the growth significations in life, growth, Vriddhi Karakas. And we can clearly see that the 5th house is heavily loaded with 2 good planets, and the 8th house is also loaded with one good planet, which is Moon. So these houses are well replenished by planets. Now comes the step 3, which is the Upachaya Sthanas. Upachaya Sthanas are the houses that lead to growth in the person's life, and the growth is always slow. And the Upachaya Sthanas and the quadrants 1, 4, 7, 10 and 3, 6, 10, 11 must have at least 2 malefics in order to get good, very excellent results. Okay, now let us see. Third house has Mercury, Jupiter and Sun. 6th house has Rahu. 10th house is vacant. 11th house is vacant. Now let us analyze what is in store in the third house. Third house is the house of efforts. House of efforts, where there are three good planets. Three good planets. Okay, so there is Jupiter, which is Guru, and there is lot of effort with the help of Guru, and there is also Sun, and all efforts will give name, fame, and status to the person. And Mercury, intellectual hard work is assured in the chart. Now the sixth house has Rahu. Rahu is a pure malefic planet, and he is sixth house. Rahu is a excellent position for Rahu. I will come back to the details, but only first we should know that what are the houses and what are the population of the houses. Next we will, when we come to the analysis, we will also know what is about the otherwise I will also add some notes also to this. And sixth house Rahu is a Shatruhanta. This person has good number of enemies in her life, but no enemy will ever win over this person. The enemy will defeat himself or will always have a self goal, and always this person is the winner, upper hand. Shatruhanta, defeater of demons or enemies. Now wherever the 11th lord sits, that is the damage point according to Vedic astrology. Why it is the damage point? The 11th house according to KP is the fulfillment house, fulfillment of all desires. But 11th house according to Vedic is the root cause of desire. And desire is the cause why we do effort. And effort can be good or effort can be bad. So desires can also be good and desires can also be bad. Even good desire or bad desire, the desire itself is the root cause of all suffering. This is what Buddha has told us in the Ashtanga Marga. So desire is the root cause of all the chart. Why the chart moves, why we fetch a glass of water, why we go and eat. Everything is a desire to be satisfied. Thirst should be satisfied. That is desire, the role of desire in life. So wherever the 11th lord sits, here it is the third house according to Vedic. So the person is driven by the desire, that kind of desire, which is nothing but efforts. Third house is an efforts house. And also an Upachaya Sthana. 11th lord went to third house. And wherever the 11th lord goes, that house, the Jiva Karakattvas get damaged. What is the third house? Third house is siblings. So there is definitely some kind of difficulty being faced by the siblings of the native in this chart. This is how we interpret the 11th lord placement. Now for any chart from the Lagna, we have the 159 houses. The second house from the Lagna, second house, this is 159 trine. Okay, second house to the Lagna, we have another trine, which is the 2610 trine. 2610 trine. Third house from the Lagna, this is the third house. From there again the trine, which goes on for the 3711 trine. Understand? So these are the kind of trines, and these trines have a specific role in life. The starting 159 is beginning. The person begins with birth. So this is the house of beginnings, new beginnings, and hence there is a direction that is given to life. Okay, the direction. Next, 2610 houses give stability to life. If there is income, there is stability to the person's life. And the next 3711 houses are houses of desire. Once we have a desire, we do the effort to approach the partner for our fulfillment. So these are the houses of desires. And 4, 8, 12, these three bhavas give depth to the chart. Depth. As we can see, the 8 is the sexual organs, and 12 is bed life, and 4 is comforts. That is the superficial explanation to the chart, whereas fourth house is the end of life, and eighth house is the tapas, the house of tapas and deep self introspection and transformation, and 12th house is solitude and meditation and reaching the moksha in life. So these are the moksha sthanas. These are dharma trikona, artha trikona, kama trikona, and the moksha trikona of life, which is the highest way of interpreting the Jyotisha. The purpose of Jyotisha is interpreting life in these kinds of 4 stages. Always and always we should remember that 1, 5, 9 lords in the chart should be excellent. 1 is self. The self should be always free and happy. 5 is our love relationships, which is when good, we have all the motivation in life to lead a happy life. And 9 is also the dharmic house, and this should also be free of luck also, as I said. These 3 should be very, very favorable in a person's life. These 3 lords should be favorable and free of all doshas, and also these three houses must also be very strong and free of doshas. Then the life of the person, whatever the other all rest of the houses give, the person will be a winner. And now comes the step number 6. The step 6 is all about the stages of life. The stages of life. 1 to 4 is the personal life the person experiences. Himself, his family, his siblings, and his maternal. That is the 4 walls of the house. Once the person comes out of the house, he experiences 5, 6, 7, and 8. 5 is love life, which is again relationship with the other. Start of a relationship with the external persons. This is the the entrance of the house. Once you step out of the entrance main door, you experience the world outside, which is 5 is again friends, 5 is again relations, 5 is about love life, and 6 is about seva to others, and 7 is about the spouse or the partner, and 8 is again transformation and digging deep into research areas. So this is about the society that we live and the relations we establish. The first one is the personal area, and the second one is the society for which we extend ourselves to join and move forward in life. And next comes the 4 houses, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 9 is the house of, this is a battlefield. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Bhagavad Gita starts with these 2 lines. Dharma kshetre kurukshetre. Because life is a battlefield, kurukshetra. For what? We have to always fight for dharma. Nothing comes easy in dharma. If you want to speak the truth, there is lot of struggle. If you want to do good things, there is lot of struggle and also opposition. So everything good that you want to do in life always has a battlefield ahead. So dharma is not an easy house. It is a battlefield. And 10th house is this is the dharma kshetra, and 10 is the karma kshetra. Whatever you wish to do for dharma, you have to do it in action. This is the idea house, and this is the action house. So dharmadhipati and karmadhipati. Jupiter is dharmadhipati and Saturn is the karmadhipati. So these 2 should be aligned in any person's chart. And next comes the 11th house, which is the networking, the external circle in your life. When you get up in the morning, if there is a problem in the toilet, you call the plumber, which is networking. If you have a problem in the car, you call the person who repairs, the mechanic. So these are kinds of networking that we develop apart from the immediate circle and the colleagues and the office atmosphere. We have so many contacts. This is 9, 10, and 11th Rasi. And 12th Rasi is all about our personal enhancement in life. It is also it is in the material level, it is the bed life. In the spiritual level, it is the moksha sthana, for which everyone should strive for himself or herself. It is a personal area, that is meditation or doing any sadhana is left to the person. If the 12th house is good, the person is capable of doing enhancement in spiritual life. So now let us check what this chart has for the person nine to 12, and let us see what this person will do for the personal life. Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter and Sun are posited in the 1 to 4 rasis, and in the 5th to 8th rasis we have Venus, Mars and Rahu. In the 9th, and also Moon. In the 9th to 12th rasis there is Ketu. If at all the person goes out for networking, it will be only for spiritual purposes. Spiritual purposes, and also for astrology. That is all her networking is about. This person will move in the society for the sake of universal work, that is beyond her family, beyond her immediate relation, for any kind of universal work. These are the areas. She visits the temples regularly, and also she has these astrological groups connections. And with respect to 5 and 8, which is society, she has good network among these 4 planets. And with respect to the house, she is totally dedicated with hard work and also intellectual work, and also gurus, work from home, seeking for gurus, and also name, fame and status are bound to come for this person sitting at home itself, work from home. Now I wish to take the analysis of the step number 6 a little deeper. What to do? 1 to 4. In 1 to 4 there is Saturn, there is Mercury, Sun and Jupiter, which goes on to say that Saturn is the 3rd and 4th lord, Mercury is the 8th and the 11th lord, Sun happens to be the 10th lord, and Jupiter is the 2nd and 5th lord. As we can see, the person is involved in these activities. The person's activities are related to these houses, all localized mostly in the 3rd house and Saturn in the 1st house. She is a very hardworking person, very well disciplined, and also there is undoubtedly delay in certain aspects of her life, but she is an intellectual person that can dig deep into very strong and secretive and also not easy to manifest subjects. She puts in lots of efforts for astrology and also fulfills her desires. When the 8 and 11 come up, it is a sure shot and guaranteed assurance that she will succeed. And 2nd house is her voice and her family, and 5th house is also again good advice, counsel, Jupiter, and Sun is name, fame and status. So all these being in the 3rd house, the person will definitely make lot of efforts. And since Mercury, Sun and Jupiter are very good and soft planets, they are bound to give her a smooth and easy opening of the gates to secrets and knowledge, which is always hidden. The hidden knowledge offers itself to this person quite easily. As we can see, Saturn is all her work, Mercury is all her intellect, Sun is the family, and Jupiter is the person. All her efforts are dedicated towards the family and also working for herself. There is a lot of self effort. We can see that everything is happening within the 4 walls of the house. Now comes the 5th to 8th house, which is the society relationship. Here we have Venus, Mars and Rahu and Moon. These are the 4 planets lined up in these next 4 houses, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next 4 houses, Venus, Rahu, all these 4 planets are lined up, and which is nothing but relationships, husband, and working with external world, where she has a ruthless victory over her enemies, and of course Moon, which is reading of the minds or relationships, or some ladies with respect to the 8th house, maybe her in-laws. That is the dealing of 5 to 8. She had to leave the native place with her husband. This is what she has stepped into a new world altogether, because as we can see, the 3rd and the 4th lord Saturn is in the Lagna. When 3 and 4 mix together, there is always the movement from the native place to a long distance place. The person leaves the place of birth and has to go a very long way. And with whom is she going? With her husband. And that caused her a little bit of insecurity in her mind. And here we can see that the 5th house, has the 1st lord in the 5th house, the 6th lord in the 5th house. These 2 are Mars, isn't it? In the 5th house. And the 7th lord is in the 5th house, and the 12th lord is also in the 5th house. So this goes on to say a good story of the combination of 1, 5, 7, 5, 1, 5, 5, 7. This is the Raja Yoga combination. And how does the combination manifest? You can see that Mars is the Lagna Lord and 7th Lord, Lagna Lord and 7th Lord. Here it is Mars and here it is Venus. 7th Lord is Venus, 1st Lord is Mars, and both are posited in the 5th house. There is lot of love between the wife and husband, and you can see that Venus is also exalted. We will come to that later. But Venus and Mars, actually Venus is the 7th lord of the natural zodiac and 1st lord is Mars in the natural zodiac. And here also for this Lagna we see that 1st lord and 7th lord are together in the 5th house, which is a very very good Raja Yoga. There is a lot of understanding between these 2 persons, the wife and her husband respectively, and hence the 5th to 8th houses are blessed in more ways than one. Again here we see that 5th house is very strong, and 1st lord is Mars, 7th lord is Venus. But again we know that Venus is the person who the lady life after marriage, that is a married woman is called Venus, and husband is always Mars. And see the swapping also here. Here Mars is the 1st lord and Venus is the 7th lord. So there is a gentleness in the relationship between these 2 persons, and Mars and Venus here form a beautiful combination of the garden of life. Now comes the step 7. What does the step 7 say? Whatever bhava is under study, okay, I can say here I will study the 3rd house because there are so many planets, or I will study the 6th house of service, seva. Rahu is posited in the 6th house. There is a lot of discipline. Rahu always enhances, increases, and also blows out of proportion whatever the house he is posited in. So Rahu in the 6th house gives this person a tremendous amount of energy that is expanding, ever expanding. That is, there is no limit to the thirst. There is always a thirst wherever Rahu sits. And always study the before house, the 5th house. And next comes the 2nd house. This is the 12th to 6th. 12th to 6th house. This is the 2nd to the 6th house, which is 2nd Rasi, Taurus. It is vacant, right? And the 5th house has Venus plus Mars. So Rahu has support from behind. And also next we have to study the trinal positions to the Rahu, which is 2nd house and the 10th house. This is the trine. I already told you 2, 6, 10 forms the trine. And so now the 2nd house has nobody, 6th house has Rahu, and 10th house has no planets. So this is the trinal position, but there is a lot of support for the person from behind. Who is supporting her? Her husband is supporting her to do the daily routine, which will give her a lot of future potential and lot of expansion and lot of Shatruhanta, which is she will have great success in her endeavors. And the 2nd house is again vacant from the 6th house. So this is how we see every house in the chart. Each house is studied by the house behind it, the house next to it, the house trinal position, and also the house lord, which is again Mars. Now comes the step number 8, which is study of the each house. House is called Bhava. Okay, how is the first house? It has 5 points. How is the second? 6 points. Third, 6. 4, 6. 5, 7. 6, 7 and a half. 7, 10 points. 8, 6. 9, 7. 6, 9, 10. So here we go on to say that the Bhava which has more than 8 points, this is the Rupas. The Rupas. A Bhava which has more than 8 points, nothing, this value is nothing but this divided by 60. This value divided by 60 gives this value. So the Rupas, if whichever house has more than 8 points will give excellent results for the person, right? So let us now see. First house, second house, third house, fourth house, 5, 6 has less than 8 points, which is there is not super houses. There is no luck with respect to these houses, so to say. That is, the person has to struggle and give lot of hard work with respect to these bhavas. Now, what is effortless? The 7th house and the 11th house are effortless. Fulfillment of desires. Whatever she undertakes the task, she will have satisfaction that she has reached some point and she is able to derive lot of gain and income also. So income house is very strong, and husband house and the partner house is also extremely strong in the chart. Extremely strong. Highest points 10.47 for partner and 10.27 for the 9 points for the 11th house, and 12th house is also extremely strong, 10.27. These are the 3 bhavas which are very strong, very strong in the chart. 7th house, 11th house and 12th house. So in investments, whatever are invested on her name will give good returns. We also have to see the Lord also, not only the bhava. Now let us see what is the signification of this that we are saying. 5 points is a nano car. 6 points is a Alto car. 7 points is a Swift Desire. 8 points is a BMW. 9 points is a Audi car. 10 points is Tesla. So 10 points for 7th lord and the 12th lord. 12th house and bhava. These are only the bhavas. Again, lords we have to see that also. And we have 9 points for 11th house. So 7, 11 and 12 are super good for the person. Super good results for the person's life. Now let us see the step number 9. Step number 9 tells about the planets. We have seen about the house. Now we will see the house lords. You can see that first and sixth lord is Mars, second and fifth lord is Jupiter, so on and so forth. Now we will judge the planets. Okay. The Rupas, again the same story. More than 8 is a strong planet. 7 to 8 is medium, that is the person will have to do hard work, and after efforts there will be results. There will be weak results, and anything which is between more than 8 is strong. Planet is strong, and more than 100% is good results, and more than 30 of East will give favorable results. Less than 30 of East will give unfavorable results. More than 30 of Kast will give strong unfavorable results. Less than 30 of Kast will give less unfavorable results. Weak unfavorable results. Now let us see. We shall pick one lord, which is the first lord, Mars. Mars has 116. That is, there is lot of power. The power of the planet is 116. Above 100 is good. Now 116 is excellent. So Lagnadipati has excellent power. Now what is the kind of power? Is it positive power? Is it negative power? That will be decided by the Ishtaphala and the Kastaphala. Let me check. Mars is giving 30 Ishtaphala and 22 Kastaphala. So what I have just now said, 30%, more than 30 Ishtaphala is favorable. So Mars is an excellent planet. That is, the Lagnesh has lot of tremendous power. Lot of power in this chart. The person will do whatever the person wants to do, and the results will be 30-22, which is very good. Lagnadipati must have at least 30 Ishtaphala to gain whatever the person intends, whatever the person has certain goals or achievements that they will reach. The person will reach the goal post for sure. And let me also check the seventh lord. Seventh lord is Venus. Oh my god, oh gosh, 163 points. Amazing, mind blowing, huh? And 46.86 Ishtaphala, and Kastaphala is 11.24. See the strength of the husband in the chart. This is mind blowing here. And the person, the dasha will also give this kind of results for the person. And let us see what the seventh house is giving. It is giving 10.47 for Venus. 10.47. And what is the 12th? Again Venus, 12th lord house is giving 10.27. So Venus is the super performer of this chart. Mars is performer, excellent. Venus is super performer of this chart. And these two planets we should never forget, they are forming an excellent Raja Yoga, and the person will shoot up in the Venus Mahadasha and also the Mars Mahadasha. We have to see and wait and watch, and also badly need the Dasha to come in the right time so that the person will reach great heights in life. And rest of the planets, as we see, we should also check the other planets also for whatever good results. Mars is nice, Mercury is almost nice, Venus excellent, and Saturn is excellent. And Moon is giving good Ishtafala. She has good relation with mother, Mars, husband, Venus herself, and 38. Her work is also very efficient. So these are so many houses associated. Ninth house, 1 and 6, 8 and 11, 7 and 12, 3 and 4. These many houses are doing good for her in the chart. So this is an excellent chart. Put aside the strength of the bhavas. The bhavas, only 3 bhavas are showing very good results. This means to say, this goes on to say that the person, this is, if the bhavas are good, there is an effortless super result of the lords involved, If the bhavas are weak, as here, and the planets are strong, then the person will make super efforts. Extreme hard work is ensured. Why? Once again, the lagna has, as we know, Saturn, and therefore the person will obviously have to do hard work to achieve success in life. And whatever the Mahadasha Lord gives 70% results of the entire chart. The Mahadasha Lord is the main decider of the direction in which the life of the person manifests. Now if we take the 10th house in this chart, the 7th house in this chart, the 7th house is the engine, is the car. 7th Lord is the driver of the car. And the Karaka of the 7th house, 7th house Karaka for a female is, for female and male in the in Vedic is Venus. And so the Venus is the, car, 7th house is the car, and 7th Lord is the car, 7th Lord is the engine of the car, and Karaka is the driver of the car. I made a mistake here, I should admit. So this is the actual scenario. If there is no car and the driver cannot do anything. If there is a car and there is no engine, then also the driver cannot do anything. If the car is good and the engine is good, then the driver can do something. If the car is weak and also the engine is weak, still if the driver can reach the destination. This is how life goes on. So even the bhava and the bhavadipati are weak. If the karaka is strong, then the life engine moves forward, so to say. If all the 3 are strong, it is a smooth drive. So now what about the empty houses? We have the 2nd house empty, 4th house empty, 7th house empty, 9th house empty, 10th house empty, 11th house empty. When the houses are vacant, then the bhava strength and the bhavadipati, the Lord strength. The strengths, as we have already seen, they are noted from the rupas, which is 8 points and above is good, and Shadbala, which is 100 and above is good, and also the Ishtafala and the Kastafala. These form the strength of the Bhava Lord, is measured by this, and the Bhava is measured by this. We have already seen the story unfold in the previous 2 steps. Now comes the step number 12. Step number 12. What is the step number 12? Here we see the Ashubha planets and the Shubha planets. Already I said in the very first step, 159 are Shubhis. They are the fortune givers of the chart. They give the best feelings and the best comforts to the person, to the Jataka. 159 bhavas as well as 159 lords must be strong for the person in order to flourish. And even if one lord is good, the chart will look up and feel happy about the entire life. These are upachayas They make the person do all kinds of hard work. These are the dusthanas, that is the bad lords, the bad places, or the houses that punish the person to no end. Obviously, the lords that are hosting these houses are also the malefics of the chart. These are the benefics of the chart, and these are the malefics of the chart. Now, if Dusthana lords and the benefic houses lords mix up, then this becomes a functional malefic. Sorry, if the Dusthanas and the Upachaya Bhavas mix up in a chart, then the lord hosting these bhavas becomes the functional malefic. Here we can see that the 8th and the 11th lord is Mercury. And Mercury is the 8th lord and the 11th lord, a lord of Dusthana and also the Upachaya. So this Mercury for this chart is the most dangerous planet, which is called the functional malefic, which is bitter malefic of the chart. Bitter malefic of this chart. Since 1 and 6 belong to Mars, and 1 is a good benefic bhava and 6 is a Dusthana, now this is a functional benefic. Why? These houses, when attached to bad houses, the bad houses will get the good benefit of the good houses. That is, a sandalwood when attached to a bad any normal wood, the normal wood will get the smell of the sandalwood. Similarly, the flowers are added to the bad houses. So Mars 1-6 lord, even if it is a Dusthana, 1 and 6, even if 6 is a Dusthana, here it is a functional benefic, Mars being the Lagnesh. Now here we can see 1st lord and 6th lord is functional benefic. Jupiter being the 5th lord and the 2nd lord, he is a Yoga Karaka planet and hence benefic planet, because again the 5th house is here, and the 9th house moon is also a super benefic for the chart. Now 8 and 11, this is the bitterest planet of the chart. This is the functional malefic, bitter malefic of the chart. So this is the absolute way in which we divide the chart. And 7th lord and 12th lord Venus is also a malefic because of the Dusthana and also the Marak Bhava. Now, apart from whatever has been classified in the first 13 steps, almost 15 steps are over. Now we will see how to read the chart. First rule is Lagnadipati, whoever the Lagnesh is always the best planet of the chart, because the person never punishes himself or herself. So the Lagnesh is always a benefic, 100% benefic Lagnesh. Next, 5th lord is benefic. 9th lord is also benefic. So, and 159. Apart from this 159, we should understand that there is this called what we call the natural benefics. These are the soft planets of the chart: Jupiter, Mercury, Moon, Venus. These are the soft planets of the chart, or the Saumya Graha of the chart. They give, wherever they are seated, they give super smooth results for that particular house. Then comes the Krura Graha, which is Sun. Then comes the natural malefics of the chart, which are Ma, Ra, Ke, Sh. Mars, Rahu, Ketu and Shani are the natural malefics of the chart. I have redrawn the D1 here. The first house has a malefic. So Lagna is having a natural malefic. That is, there is lot of hardship and delay with respect to the significations of the first house for this person. Next comes the second house. This is vacant. Now comes Jupiter, Sun and Mercury. All the soft planets are in the third house. So the house of efforts is giving very good results for this person. We have to, now we are not seeing enmity, we are not seeing friendship, we are not seeing house lordship. We are simply seeing the benefits, the natural benefits of the astrological world. Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, Venus are the good planets of the chart. Sun is a neither bitter malefic nor bitter benefic. It is in the middle of both. It is a Krura Graha. If there is a need for punishment, the king will punish the people ruthlessly. And if there is a need for giving benevolent help to the needy persons, the sun is willing to give benevolence. So here we see that the third house has Jupiter, Sun and Mercury, three good planets in it. Next comes the fifth house. So the first house is delay, there is no denial. The third house is excellent, 5 star. Let us see the fifth house. We have Venus, which is again a very benevolent planet. It is the Asura Guru or the Rakshasa Guru, and Jupiter is the Deva Guru. So Venus is also a Guru, a Brahman, a very soft planet, and with the Venus is the Lagnesh, which already I told you, the Lagnadipati plus Jupiter, Venus, Moon, Mercury. These are the natural benefits of any chart for any person. Wherever these planets are, the chart will give very soft results for that house. So we need not look back for the third house, it is very comfortable. We need not look back for the fifth house, which is also comfortable. Next comes Rahu. Rahu is undoubtedly a natural malefic for the sixth house. We have to see only malefic and benefic, nothing else. So there is trouble in the sixth house. Next comes the eighth house, again a good planet, a soft planet, a very feminine planet in the eighth house. So this person, with respect to in-laws, she will be dealt with a very soft hand in the house of in-laws. Next comes these are the vacant houses, and again the 12th house has Ketu. So this is a spiritual planet, and this is also a malefic. So wherever the malefics occupy, there is a little disturbance with respect to that house. Wherever benefics occupy, that house matters in the life of the Jatak will be extraordinarily smooth. The person will experience smoothness with respect to those those areas in life. Just now we have studied what we call the static promise of the chart. We have read the static promise, that is, the person will experience utmost happiness with respect to third house, with respect to fifth house and eighth house. All these three houses are bound to give very smooth and happy results for the person. There is no aspects, there is no friendship enmity, there is no any other consideration to check the static promise of the chart. This is the best way to study the chart benefits. The static promise. Now comes the dynamic promise. Whenever the map comes into the picture. The dynamic, this is the timing of event. Whenever events happen, they are due to the, in the time of events, we always take into consideration the aspects, the opposites of the planets, and the conjunctions of the planet. This is called sambandha, and the rasi parivartan, whatever, if there is any rasi parivartan existing in the chart. And also friendship, enmity, and the yogas, all these come into picture while there is the interpretation of the map. You can understand static promise is always the fixed promise of the chart. All the time throughout the life, the native will experience the happiness of love and affection, and also good communication with the spouse, and that is the static promise of the chart. It is forever. For the entire life of the person will experience bliss with respect to the fifth house. This is how we see the static promise, whereas the dynamic promise is about the day-to-day events that occur in the life of the person. Now see the friendship, enmity. Dynamic promise, friendship and enmity. 159 of any chart are friends. 159 Mars, fifth house is Jupiter, ninth house is Moon. So basically these three planets always help each other. These three planets help each other, support each other, and replenish each other, give each other's energy to the other person. So this is how these three planets are inbuilt in this chart. Where is Mars? In the fifth house. Where is Moon? In the eighth house. Where is Jupiter? In the third house. So once again we see 3, 5 and 8 are very helpful for this Jatak. 6th Lord, 8th Lord, 12th Lord. Who is 6th Lord? Is Mars. 12th Lord is Venus. 8th Lord is Mercury. So these are the Dusthana Lords. But again, we can remove Mars and also Venus. Why and how? 6th Lord is also the first Lord. So he is the Lagnadipati. Mars is the Lagnesh. So Lagnesh can never do harm to the chart. Next is the 12th Lord. Venus is the 7th and the 12th Lord to the chart. And always remember, Venus exalts in the 12th Rasi. In this chart it is in the 12th Rasi, but if this Lagna is here and Venus is here also, it is a good placement for the 12th Lord and the 12th Rasi. Here, and that is wherever Venus is placed in the 12th house or the 12th Rasi, being a 12th Lord, the planet itself becomes a benefic. Being in an exalted position, it will always give good results. 12th Lord is exalted. This goes on to say that there will be a good amount of expenditure related to the spouse for the husband. Just now I said that Mercury is the 8th Lord and also the 11th Lord, and hence it is a bitter functional malefic. 8th Lord and 11th Lord. Who? Mercury. But now let me analyze and help you out. 8th house, 8th Lordship carries astrology. And 11th is fulfillment of desire. So this person has complete satisfaction and fulfillment of astrological aspirations in the chart. And Mercury is the Karaka of astrology. Jupiter, Mercury, Saturn and Ketu. These are the combinations for a person to become a good astrologer. And let us now test these things on this chart. So being an 8th Lord and 11th Lord, we need not worry that the Mercury is a functional malefic here, even though it is a malefic, and that too bitter malefic. Mercury once you use the houses of 8th and 11th, that is, she is anyway using, being an astrologer and a professional one at it, she is bound to use the 8th house, and she will get the good results related to the 8th house. Therefore, using the houses is the key to the lack of suffering. That is, you will be relieved. The person will be relieved. She will get relief from the negative effects of 8th house if she uses the houses the way she is doing now. This is called house utilization technique or karma alignment technique, where we use the negative houses for a positive purpose, and hence the negativity of the houses and the bitterness they want to deliver will be nullified dramatically in the life of the native. So, here, coming to the Navamsha. The Navamsha is in the Lagna we have Venus, okay, and in the 7th house we have Mercury. In the 1st house we have Venus. Now, the dispositor, that is the Rasi Lord of the Virgo Rasi Lord is Mercury. Okay, if the Rasi Lord aspects the planet, then the debilitation gets nullified. The debilitation of Venus is cancelled. Here, this is called Nicha Bhanga Raja Yoga, which manifests as Raja Yoga for the chart. So here the Venus debilitation gets nullified satisfactorily, and we can see that there is connection between Jupiter, Moon and Saturn and Mars. So here Mars, which is the Lagnesh of the D1. We should not forget that Saturn is the Lagnesh. Mars is the Lagnesh of D1. So, Mars, Saturn and Jupiter, and of course Ketu and Mercury. We can see that here Ketu is in the house of Mercury. Okay. So, these are connected. And here we see that Ketu is in the star of Jupiter. So these planets, Jupiter, Ketu, Mercury and Saturn, are responsible to deliver astrology to the person. This is Dharmadipati and this is Karmadipati according to the natural zodiac, that is Aries as Lagna. So when these two planets are connected, the person will do some effort with respect to ancient religious texts. And in the Navamsha we can see that the Kendras are loaded. Kendras is the 1st house, 4th house, 7th house, 10th house. All the Kendras, Venus, Rahu, Mercury and Ketu. The Kendras are loaded full with all the Kendras are full. That is, the person is very hard working. This is once again shown in the Navamsha chart also. The D1 shows the physical world. Everyone can see this. But the D9 is the person experiencing the life for herself. Person's own experience of herself. That is the D9 chart, which goes on to show the Kendras are full, very willing to do hard work. That is what the person is inside or out. D1 also has Lagna Saturn, and here D9 also has 4 planets in the Kendras. And see, in the D9 also, the Lagnadipati Mars went into the 12th house. The person is supposed to live away from the native place, and the Jupiter Moon also indicates change of place. Along with the husband, again there is Saturn Mars connection here, and also Saturn Mars connection in the Navamsha chart. And the person is in the 12th house in the Navamsha. That is, the person feels isolated. Loneliness also exists in the life of the person. And when there is Saturn here, the environment that she is living in a very new place is Somehow she is feeling it difficult to adapt to the new environment. But due to the blessings of two soft planets of Jupiter and Moon on this 12th house, again she will obviously have to and will try to and will adjust. Here also we see the in the Navamsha also there is a strong connection between 3 and 4. 3 and 4 connection in the D1, the third and the fourth lord is in the Lagna. In the D9 also we can see that the Lagnadipati is placed in the 12th house of isolation and he is the third lord. Lagnesh is the third lord and Jupiter is the fourth lord in the Navamsha, third and fourth lords, and they are aspecting each other. The 3-4 connection is so strong, hence the person is removed from the native place to a very distant place due to the husband Mars, who is the Karaka, and the Lagnesh is in the 12th house of isolation and feeling very bad about it and unable, and she found it very difficult to adjust as Saturn is also along with the Lagnesh, and so there is some kind of isolation and bitterness with respect to the dislocation of the person to a very new place away from the native land. In the D1 chart, Jupiter is debilitated, but again the debilitation got nullified because the lord of the house, which is this is 10th Rasi and the lord is Saturn. So the lord of the house, the Rasi lord Saturn, is aspecting with the third aspect on the debilitating Jupiter, and hence it cancels the debilitation. The person will be free of debilitation of the second and the fifth. The second and fifth lord should not be debilitated, and since it is cancelled, though the person will have hardship with respect to the second and fifth houses, later there will be recovery, and also the comforts of the houses will be offered to the person, and the planet will survive and support the person with respect to second and fifth house. Since she is an astrologer, she wants to take up consultation and counseling. Though she may feel low and inadequate and she is not properly adequate to face the clients, slowly she will get mastery of the subject, and Neecha Bhanga Raja Yoga always gives upper hand after bitter struggle.